Alright.
February is the coolest month. The cruelest month. Check, check, check.
Okay, it says we are live.
Hey, everybody.
Let me figure out where the URL is at so I can stick it in the article. Yeah, so if you're watching right now, thanks for joining. You are watching myself, David Jagno from UploadVR.com, play Fallout 4 VR here on the HTC Vive, and I am joined by...
Are you not going to introduce me? I have to introduce myself?
Yeah.
That's so rude.
Yeah.
So rude. I'm Tal Blevins. I'm also from Upload. Imagine that.
Yep.
Hi. Hi, everybody. Hey, David.
Howdy doody.
How are you doing in the wasteland?
I'm doing pretty good. I have the wasteland is paused right now. I am currently lifting the headset off of my eyeballs, trying to navigate my computer.
David, do you know if you take dog meat as your companion, the wasteland is always paused?
Oh my god. How long have you been sitting on that one?
I mean, when I was writing my review, I almost... No, seriously, I just thought...
Yeah, that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad.
That pun was pretty rough.
Oh boy.
We should probably get started. Otherwise, we're just losing people now.
I can't figure out where YouTube is hiding the URL for the video. I'm on the back end and I see it live, but where the heck is the URL?
I got it. Well, did you go to the video itself?
It's not letting me click on the video itself. It's really strange.
Go to our front page, and then click on the title.
Yeah,
Fallout 4 Livestream.
Yeah, when I was on the channel page, it wasn't there, but maybe it is now.
It was last time I checked. Sorry, everybody. Thank you for your patience.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm having some technical issues here, apparently.
David's learning how to use the internet. It is you know what, David? They did vote against net neutrality today. Maybe this is maybe that's the cause. Maybe they're taking away URLs.
Here we go. It wasn't at the top of the list of our videos for some reason. Okay. Now I have it.
Yay!
Alright, I have put it over. You can now watch it on UploadVR.com as well. I don't know why you would want to do that, but you could if you wanted. Alright, so thanks everyone for tuning in. Let's go ahead and get started here. I'm David Jagno from UploadVR.com, and I'm also joined by someone...
Tal Blevins.
Oh, okay, now you introduced yourself. Okay, great.
Yes, I'm Tal Blevins.
So you can see here, I have the game paused at the moment, and we have a wild dog that is about to attack my good boy dog, Dog Meat. So it is my duty to protect Dog Meat.
So Zombie Slayers is already...
My hands are reversed. Okay, I'm good.
Zombie Slayers is asking, is this worth getting at all? I've heard some bad things, but I know we'll get fixes. I was a little disappointed in Doom and Vive not including Locomotion, so I had to use my third-party mod. I think it's absolutely worth getting. You know, I reviewed the game. I played it quite a bit, and I've played the original on the consoles, the PC version, the non-VR version, for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours.
How many?
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours.
Ooh.
I know. And I think it's absolutely worth playing. I mean, you know, I gave it a 7 out of 10. It does have some issues. You know, Bethesda's already addressed a few of those issues with some of the graphical patch that came out for some people who were having some really bad graphics issues. But yeah, I mean, I had a lot of fun with it. I mean, I rated it a 7 out of 10, which is still a good game. Got some feedback from people. It's like, oh, you were so hard on the game, and it was so negative. Actually, 7 out of 10 is not negative at all on our scale. It's considered a good game. Just the scale and the scope and everything that you can do with Fallout, I think it's definitely worth getting in VR. David, what are your thoughts?
Or it's gonna involve
1 second. I want to kill these guys in slow-mo again.
I was going to say, you killed these guys yesterday.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
It's a different save. I don't know. I missed. What? Oh, you can't hit the head for some reason. I don't know why. That's weird. There we go.
Nope, you shot right through his head, David.
Man, what is going on? This is the least accurate shotgun of all time.
So yeah, you can see the VAT system here is a slow-mo system as opposed to the non-VR versions, which completely pause the game. Oh.
We're good. We're good. Anyway,
so,
yeah, so I think if you already played Fallout and you already kind of have an idea of what to expect, you know about the jankiness, you know just kind of how Bethesda makes their games, and you're interested in playing it in VR and re-experiencing it, I totally think it's worth it. You know, I would definitely recommend it. If you never played Fallout 4 before, and you're expecting, you know, the like most epic, amazing, polished, you know, open world RPG ever in VR, you might be a little disappointed if you're not too familiar with how Bethesda's games are and how they have translated to VR. You know, I think, you know, it's Fallout 4 with VR support. You know, it's not like a brand new thing. It's not, you know, going to change the way that you view video games. It's not like, you know, the killer app that, you know, the legends have prophesized or anything like that. It's Fallout in VR. You know, so as long as you have that baseline expectation and you're not overhyping it to yourself too much, I think people will be really impressed and happy with it.
Yep, I agree with you. And Lucas was asking who is playing and who is talking. Lucas, David is playing, and I am talking, and I am Tal. I'm the guy who reviewed Fallout for Upload VR.
That is correct.
Oh no, Patrick says that he's been getting unplayable performance on a 1080. Well, that's a shame, Patrick. I have heard some people who have installed the new patch that they've experienced some really bad, the beta patch, they've experienced some really bad performance issues. Patrick, did you have the same issues? And you can tell us in the chat, did you have the same issues before you installed the patch, or was this after the beta patch, or have you even tried the beta patch yet?
And just so people are aware, I'm playing with the 980 Ti, and I do have the beta patch turned on.
Lucas is asking, and David, here's a good, you know, you can speak up on this one too. What do you think about Skyrim VR versus Fallout VR? I'll let you take that one first.
Yeah, good question. You can actually read an article I wrote that compares them very specifically at uploadvr.com. But the short version of it is, I definitely think Skyrim is overall a better game, specifically in VR. But I do think they're both really great. I mean, I'm having a great time with both of them. Oh man, I'm in a tough spot right here.
Yeah, what is up with not being able to target the heads, David?
I have no idea. Oh my gosh. Man, these ghouls feel so much faster in VR. Oh my god. Oh boy. Health is low. Health is low.
Yeah, Wesley is asking how do the feral ghouls feel in VR? They feel very painful, apparently. Very painful.
I cannot believe I survived that.
Yay, David. Yeah, I mean, the feral ghouls are really creepy in VR. I mean, you know, they'll pop up out of the ground or out of grates or around the corner, and like a 28 days later kind of zombie, they'll run right at you really fast. So
very different change of pace from the Draugrs in Skyrim, that's for sure. All right.
Zombie Slayers was asking how do the guns feel, especially guns with scopes such as sniper rifles compared to other FPSs. Well, I will say, you know, one thing that's missing from the VR version is that scopes actually do not work right now. They're just blacked out. But Bethesda said they are going to add that later on, that they're going to make actual working scopes. Now, to me, the guns themselves, they feel really good. I actually, you know, aiming to me is a lot easier because you just have to move your hand as opposed to like rotating your entire body like you would with the non-VR version. And I felt that they were really accurate, and you can look down the sights if you want to. Now, for me, too, just being able to kind of point in that direction, I wasn't having much problems, especially like close up hitting things. But I thought, yeah, I thought they felt really good.
Oh, God. I just heard a bomb drop. What the heck?
Did somebody blow up a car? Is that what you... Oh.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I heard like a whistle of a bomb falling and everything. It goes crazy.
Oh. Well, wait, that sounds like a
mortar?
fat man. Or somebody shooting a fat man at you.
Well, that wouldn't be very nice. I'm only level 4. What the heck?
As you get closer and closer to boss, and it gets tougher and tougher.
Oh god. Oh god. I was not prepared for this. Oh boy. Yeah, that's a turret.
To be fair, it's kind of your own fault for
Oh my god.
For going into the urban area there.
I'm gonna do this. I'm not worried.
Yeah, don't forget to use your VATS.
Okay, yep. You're gonna get to see a pretty epic slow-mo death right there. That was pretty cool. It was worth it. That death was worth it.
So, are you playing on normal, or are you playing on what's the one above normal?
I think I'm playing on normal.
Whoa,
right.
Whoa, easy there, Scaver.
I forgot to save when I entered that town. I'm not gonna enter that town this time.
You stop waving that gun in my face, or it's gonna involve me.
That's it. You're dead. You...
See if you could actually target heads this time.
It's not letting me target heads. And I have no idea why.
Lucas is asking, how does power armor feel? I really liked it in VR. One of the really cool things about power armor in VR is you can kind of look down at where your neckline is and you can see all your different gauges. So I thought that was really neat. It really felt like you were in a big suit as opposed to, you know, just being an overlay or a screen, a flat screen.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Has anybody watching the stream, if you have in the chat, have you actually played Fallout? And if so, what do you think about it so far? Patrick, I know you said you have, and it's unfortunate. It sounds like you were having some of the graphical issues previously, and then you installed the beta patch, and it doesn't run very well for you at all. So it sounds like you're having some issues. Anybody else?
That's a tough situation to be in.
Chrysler says, have they fixed the player height yet? I haven't noticed it, David, but I haven't jumped in today. I still feel like I'm about 5 foot, 5'2" in the character model. It seems pretty short, like your Prince wandering the wasteland.
It's just short enough for it to be noticeable, but not like totally game altering. You know, I can kind of look up a little bit to look at NPCs when they talk to me, but I'm not really near head height, which is frustrating.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird decision. I wonder why that, you know, in design, it seems like they could have set that or fixed that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Or at least give me a chance, an option to reset my head height if I want to play sitting down as well too, because that is kind of annoying.
Right. And for those watching, if you're not aware, the game does support full direct movement locomotion like I'm using here, but you can also use teleport as well if you get motion sick, or if you would rather teleport around, you can do that.
Play as Nightcrawler in the Wasteland.
Yeah. And so one thing that I think we both agree on this is I wish they had modeled the hands, your character's hands in the game, because instead you just see a floating gun and a floating Pip-Boy. It's not quite as nice as if they would have included full hand models.
Yeah, it's, you know, The floating gun, the floating pit boy. You get used to it, but it would have been nice to have hands.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Skyrim has the same issue. The only way you can see your hands in Skyrim is if you either are using a spell or if you go unarmed. You can see your unarmed hands in Fallout as well, but they don't show them otherwise. We're coming up on a lot of stuff up here. All right, boy. What is it? What do your dog eyes see? I hear gunshots. It's party time. Oh, okay. Yep. I need to do a better job of saving. This is getting ridiculous.
Oh, David.
I know. You live and you learn, I guess. Oh, it auto-saved me. Okay. I got some progress here.
But do save early, save often.
Nope, it did not auto-save me. I'm back here where I was before. Okay. I'm going to have to start saving more. That is for sure.
Easy there, Scaver.
You stop waving that gun in my face.
So in this live stream, we've gotten absolutely nowhere so far.
We'll lower
I hope everyone is enjoying.
This went differently
Heads.
this time. I was able to convince him to stand down.
You should shoot him anyway.
I think I
now
probably
hand
will.
over your money. All of it.
I want to demand money.
You're dead.
Oh, okay. They didn't like that part.
That's so weird. I don't know what's going on with your VATS.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's not letting me target heads, which makes VATS far less satisfying. Okay. So you know what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and save real quick right now. There we go.
So at least we'll get 15, 20 seconds further the next time you die.
Exactly. Exactly.
Good plan.
All right. We're gonna do better this time. If anyone has any suggestions for content they want to see, go ahead and leave a comment and let us know. On the last stream, we did a little bit of the settlement building and crafting. That's not something we've explored in a whole lot of detail on stream yet.
Wesley did say that he'd like to see how swimming works.
Oh, okay, sure. I think there's some water over here. I don't mind a little radiation. I don't know where that body of water went. Maybe it's farther down. The short version is you swim like you would in real life, sort of. So yeah, here's some water right here. So once you get down and you're actually... Oh, it's just a puddle. It's not deep enough. Once you get underwater, you'll have to hold the triggers and you move your hands in a swim motion and then release the triggers as they get to your side. So you kind of treat it as like a breaststroke sort of motion.
As you get closer to Boston, you'll come across some bigger bodies of water. There's some rivers and stuff going in.
Yeah, so far, just in terms of the moment-to-moment gameplay, one of the biggest differences I'm experiencing, and this is mostly because I'm using the real-time Pip-Boy, is switching weapons in the middle of a firefight is a lot more difficult because the Pip-Boy doesn't freeze time when I use it now.
Well, and remember too, though, you can set them up on your wheel, on your right-hand controller with favorites.
Oh, good point. Yeah, I should go ahead and do that.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think that actually does pause the action. You also don't have to go right through the middle of this. I mean, this place is just crawling with baddies.
You can't tell me what to do.
I mean, I can. You don't have to listen to me.
Yeah, that's true.
You often don't.
And let's stick the minigun on there as well, because having access to a minigun is always good. Alright, nearly done. There we go. Cool. Okay, the favorites wheel does not slow down time.
Does it not? Well,
but you can. No, okay. I was gonna see if you could use it while in bats, but you can't. Not a big deal. It's raining, so everyone gets to see what that looks like. Oh, here we go. Here's a bunch of water.
hey, David, save your game.
There we go. Now I'm swimming. And yeah, good idea. Saved. Let's use some stim packs. Alright. We're good, we're good. We got this.
Wesley says use VATS in the rain. He wants to see the raindrops coming down.
Oh, sure. I feel like they don't fall quite as slowly as they should, given how slowly everything else moves. But maybe that's just, I don't know, I'm being weird. But it's still pretty cool. Getting to turn and see the raindrops falling around.
Yep. Raindrops keep falling on my head.
Do you think the rain is radiated? Because I feel like it should be, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine there's enough radiation in the atmosphere that the rain gets radiated, but you don't really, you don't get radiated. Well, and you do have those radiation storms that come in where you do get radiated slightly, so yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We have a question about the 3 different kinds of the Pip-Boys. David, which one do you prefer?
I've used this one mostly. You know, the one that I get to physically look at whenever I twist my wrist up by my face. I just kind of like anything that makes a game more immersive in VR is usually the option I pick. And it does make it more difficult, that's for sure, not being able to pause the game whenever I look at my Pip-Boy. But I just really like the added immersion that offers. And I think some of the other options, you can have a display on the screen in front of you as an overlay, like a menu. You know, so those are different options if you don't really care too much about the immersion aspect.
I'll say that after, you know, when I play for hours at a time, I usually start out with doing the physical Pip-Boy, where I raise my left hand, left wrist to look at it, but then I usually switch over after a bit to just the full screen that pops up and pauses the action. Simply because sense. You know, I like the novelty of it, and like you, I like the immersiveness of it. But after a few hours, it starts getting a little tedious. Smart. Save it up.
I got a robot. Robo bro. He's not hostile, so that's good. Should I go in here and clear out this building? I'm gonna do it.
Hey.
I mean, I'm not here to stop you.
I'm doing it.
I'm not your mom. Is there recoil in the game?
Not really, no.
I don't. Yeah. Even with the minigun, you really don't get much kickback. You can pretty much just hold it in place. So no, not really.
Let me equip a shotgun. I don't know why I don't have one equipped. There we go. Much better.
I'm trying to think. I do think you do have a little recoil in the game, but you just kind of, you know, since you're using, it's not like full kickback or anything. So as long as you're, you know, readjusting your hand, it doesn't really affect me. But it's not like you have a lot of kickback with like the minigun or anything like that, where it's really hard to aim after a while. You can pretty much keep it trained on the target, especially if you go in VATS.
Yeah. I thought there'd be some baddies in here, but I'm not seeing anybody.
Just you. You're a baddie.
There we go.
Wesley wants to see what it looks like when you fire point blank at a wall.
That is a strange request, but sure. There's a wall. There's my shotgun.
Boom.
There you go. Let's keep going up and up and up to the top floor. Maybe there's something on the roof.
You keep wanting something, don't you, David? Just something.
I want to feel like I have a reason for why I entered this building. But it's looking like I may not have.
Yeah, Julian's saying now shoot yourself. Yeah, I don't think you can actually do any damage to yourself, but you can certainly look down the barrel of the gun.
Okay, there's the shotgun. Let's see. We're gonna try it here. Nope. Oh, okay, I think we got a bandit. Is that who that is? I'm not sure if that's a bandit.
Go into VATS, you can tell.
Nope, that's Timothy. He's just casually strolling through the city with gunshots all around.
Excuse me, sir. Would you happen to know the way to Bunker Hill?
Why do you need to go there?
I can't divulge my reasons, but I need
And you can see, for example, here, the height issue. If I stand on my tiptoes, I'm almost as tall as him.
Sorry, I don't.
It's all right. I'm sure I can find it on my own. Thank you anyway.
Does VATS let you target heads with weapons that are not shotguns? It usually does, even with the shotgun. I'm not sure what's going on.
Oh, now it's working.
There's a bug or something that David was getting, but yeah, usually you can target the head with anything.
It's still a little finicky, but it is working now.
Yeah, Julian, it is kind of like you do just have like a floating weapon and a pip point. It's basically what you see. You know, you see no legs, no arms, no hands, no head. You never actually... I didn't encounter... I can't remember, at least, where I saw my character from a third-person perspective while I was playing Fallout. You do a few times in Skyrim, but in Fallout VR, I couldn't... I don't remember a time I did.
We got a big fight going on over there.
Yeah, as you get closer to the city and closer to the urban areas, it's going to get more and more concentrated. Excuse me.
You know, I'm gonna switch to this bad boy. Nope, never mind. This one only has 2 rounds.
Also, save your game.
Oh, I just saved it. We're good. Oh, we got some paladins over here.
Oh, yeah. You're at the Cambridge police station. Yeah. That's like one of their bases. So yeah, the Brotherhood of Steel. That's right, they're being attacked by feral ghouls right now. Now, are you seeing... I'm getting some stuttering looking at the stream, David. Are you getting the same thing on your screen, or is it just the stream?
No, it's just the stream.
Gotcha. That's why I wanted to just be sure to let people know that you're not getting the performance issues on your side. It's just the data flow through from the stream.
Yeah.
So I gotta say, the Brotherhood of Steel,
Appreciate the assistance.
I have a love-hate relationship with them.
Business here?
They got cool stuff, but they're usually just... They're so pompous.
Yeah, they're kind of like the high elves in Skyrim a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to survive.
The way you charged it. Are you from a local?
What? I'm from Vault.
You're
I'm
a
gonna skip through the dialogue.
Since the moment. If you want.
I want to help, but
Yeah, I definitely went Minutemen.
I've been trying.
Minuteman in my playthroughs.
Proceed, Halen.
I've modified
Whatever.
Yeah, and so, you know, that's kind of one of the cool things about Bethesda games is they have all those different factions you can join,
Infiltrate.
oh,
and it really, you know, changes your experience. You know, I'm gonna say yes,
no time to waste. Let's get moving.
Outstanding.
just to defy you.
Halen, take Reese inside and bind his wounds.
Yes, sir.
Reese, once you're on your feet, I want you to make certain the perimeter is secure.
I'm on it.
All right, civilian. It's time to prove your worth. Head into the police station and resupply yourself. Then let me know when you're ready to begin. Let's move out, people.
I need to find someone that can buy some of my stuff. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm not going to actually start this quest yet. I'm going to keep making my way down towards Diamond City so I can, you know, empty out my inventory and everything like that.
Do it.
And then I will come back to this content in a little while. Or perhaps I'll save that for another stream, do some Brotherhood of Steel stuff.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good stream subject to go do some Brotherhood of Steel quests. So Nat is asking, how does melee combat feel to you?
It doesn't have, you know, as much of the haptic feedback as you would expect if you were beating someone over the head with a pull cue in real life, you know, as someone that has done that before. But it does have a pretty satisfying, you know, just having to physically swing your arm, you know, it does feel good. It's melee combat's not as prevalent in Fallout as it is in like Skyrim, for example. You don't really have to melee in this game. You can just stick to your guns. But I like to every now and then. Oh dang! I just crippled my leg because I stepped on a dang mine.
Yeah, they don't call you Kansas City Jagno because you don't know your way around a pool cue.
Oh, what the heck? Oh, dang it. That's okay. I saved recently. We're good. We're good.
So as you can see, Fallout's not completely easy.
No, it's definitely not. Especially if you are standing near a car that's about to explode.
Have you heard anything about the DLC? It's a little strange they didn't include it in the high price tag. No, I kind of agree. I would have liked to have seen, kind of like with Skyrim, where you got all the DLC already. But no, we haven't heard anything definitive about when that's coming or what that's going to look like. But yeah, like with Skyrim on PSVR, you know, for PSVR, you got pretty much the whole package there, and in Fallout, you pretty much got the base system.
Yeah.
Don't really have a home.
An answer that since the moment we if you want to continue.
Octavio's asking, is Skyrim VR better or worse? I think it's better.
Very well.
I agree.
Brother.
You know, I think it's, you know, even though, I mean, you're talking about PSVR versus PC and Vive, you know, it depends on kind of which setup and system that you have. But I thought they implemented a lot of the things in Skyrim better, and I just thought there were some weird graphical things in Fallout 4 VR that you just didn't have in Skyrim. Like for me, one of the biggest distracting graphical glitches is the star field in Fallout 4, which feels like you're basically in an invisible, very small planetarium, and that the star field is actually closer to you than the clouds are. It's just very disorienting when you're at night in VR.
Yep. I agree 100%. One thing that I would add probably is that I think there are some elements to Skyrim from a gameplay perspective that translate better.
Sword and shield, things like that.
Yeah, sword and shield, and you know, having to physically pull back, you know, the arrow on a bow.
Yep.
It has a really satisfying, you know, kind of more interactive, moment-to-moment gameplay rhythm. But then again, there are some things with Fallout that feel better in VR. I think just, you know, the setting in general. I think, you know, it's kind of the sci-fi classic sort of VR, you know, dream of, you know, sci-fi type stuff. So I mean, that's all cool and everything, but I think that just generally, overall, I definitely agree that I think Skyrim was a slightly better first effort for them in terms of VR support.
I agree. And Julian, to your question, which one do you feel like just spending more time in, just like on a personal level? I mean, I'd say Skyrim as well. I really like. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the post-apocalyptic world of Fallout. But David, I think you would tend to agree, like exploring that fantasy, you know, expanse where you have everything from the snow to finding like waterfalls in the forest, and it just feels magical. You know, it's just a really neat land to explore in Skyrim, and that was just really fun just to walk around, even if you weren't doing much.
Yeah, and I think, you know, there's something to be said for the fact that it's not trying to emulate a version of the real world. You know, like in Skyrim, if I come across a troll or a dragon or, you know, a different, you know, ghouls or rats or whatever it is that I come across and I fight, I don't have a preconceived idea of what that's supposed to look like. So I don't notice the uncanny valley elements as much. And then in, you know, Fallout, almost all of the enemies you fight, at least for the first half or so of the game, are, you know, raiders and bandits and other humanoid type characters. And you don't really see many of the super mutants and those kind of things until much later on. But I feel like in Skyrim, you're just from the very beginning, you're in this fantasy world and you can suspend your disbelief a bit easier.
All right, you're not too far from Diamond City now.
I'm getting pretty close.
As you cross into Boston proper here.
Basically aiming to commit suicide.
Yeah, definitely watch out for mines.
Mines don't scare me.
I
I probably should though, because they already killed me once.
Yeah, not necessarily a bad idea to save your game too. Again, maybe.
Yeah, I've been trying to do it every couple minutes. Especially the quick save is very quick and easy to do.
Gotcha. Yeah, maybe I've just been missing you doing it. There you go. You are quick saving. Boom, boom.
Yeah, that is one thing that's nicer about Fallout is the menu access is much quicker. So
yeah,
saving is definitely easier to do in Fallout.
Yeah, the move controller is definitely not my favorite. I like the Vive controller better than the move controller, even though I like the touch controller better than the Vive controller.
Yeah.
But you know, I agree. Getting to your menus and stuff, especially for a game as complex as Fallout, because I would say, I mean, the menu system in Fallout with the Pip-Boy and everything else is more complex than what you get in Skyrim. So I can understand why maybe they focused on the Vive version first for Fallout.
Alright. Gotta help out the security guards here. Oh, dang.
Julian is asking if there's any kind of 3D audio. Those shootings in the distance must sound amazing. I mean, yeah, if you play with headphones or if you have a surround system, it absolutely, you know, supports that. I usually play with headphones, and you can, you know, 3D positional audio. You can tell where things are coming from. If there's an explosion, you'll hear it behind you if it's behind you, and things like that. Why is the caravan? Did you shoot the caravan guard? Why is he?
He's lit up red. I don't know.
What have you done, David?
I don't make the rules, okay? I just break them.
Yeah, and sorry if I'm a little delayed. I'm just while I'm watching the stream with you, and then I'm on Discord, so there's a little bit of delay there. So I may be talking about something that happened about 5 seconds ago.
Yeah, the caravan guard is hostile. I don't know what's going on.
He's joined the super mutants. Are the security guards? Yeah, they're going after him too. All right. Well, that's on them at that point.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna walk right over here. Urgh.
Oh no, actually, they're still neutral to him. Huh?
I must have just accidentally hit that one, because this other caravan guard's flying. Well, luckily the guards didn't care that I murdered him right in front of them, so there's that.
Maybe he was a jerk. Maybe they're like, that guy's a jerk.
Yeah.
We get it. He causes trouble all the time in this area. Plus, you gotta figure, I mean, those caravan guys, they probably go through guards all the time. They gotta be getting attacked all the time. So, you know, it's time for a new one. You're actually bringing in new jobs. You're bringing in the labor force to the wasteland, David.
Exactly. Exactly.
I always thought it would be interesting if... That's not good.
Oh no. I have attracted something that I did not mean to attract. Oh boy, this is getting out of hand.
Don't forget, you can always run back to the guards.
True. I can kind of try to lure them over here. Are the guards even still here? Okay, yeah, there's still a couple.
Face me, you coward!
I guess the mutants only want to fight me. They're not interested in the rest of these guys.
Yeah, Julian, the shooting is really cool with cover and Fallout. I mean, that's a really cool thing that you can actually lean around corners now. You can duck behind barrels. You know, that was something you couldn't do before, and it actually does make it feel a lot more realistic when you're having these firefights now. Good job. Krister is saying, I know this is a Fallout stream, but has Bethesda said anything about... Yeah, you can... sorry, to go back to an earlier question, you could see when David was shooting that minigun, he wasn't really getting any kickback or recoil. So you don't really have to adjust for that. Krister was asking about if Bethesda said anything about fixing Doom. He says, you know, they touted it as building it from the ground up for VR, yet it seems like the worst one of the group of games that they've released. You know, we haven't heard them say anything specifically about it, but they've actually been pretty responsive to wanting to fix all their things that they put out. You know, regular patches and continuing on as games as services. I don't think they're just going to leave them as they are. So yeah, I mean, I would imagine you're going to see improvements for all these games over time. And Octavio asked if there are any announcements for the game on PSVR. You know what? Nothing official yet, but I have no doubt that we'll see this next year. We'll see Fallout next year for PSVR.
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to happen. Okay, I'm trying to get up to the super mutant that was on the roof that I killed already, because I'm pretty sure he has minigun ammo. And I need some.
I'll tell you what, it would be really cool if Fallout 4 comes to PSVR to be able to use the aim controller with it.
Ooh, Ooh, that would be cool. Oh, I thought he had minigun ammo.
Psych.
Oh, dang. Here you go, dog meat.
Yeah, see? The VATS, when it just pops around, it's just... I just wish you could lock it, you know?
Yeah, did you have that issue as well?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I wrote about that in the review.
Okay. Okay, I'm getting close to Diamond City.
Well, if you go back to where the guards are, they should be like right near one of the entrances, or you'll at least see the signs pointing toward Diamond City.
I see a sign now. I was getting a little sidetracked.
And what is Diamond City, David?
It is the crown jewel of the Boston Wasteland.
Diamond City is.
It is Fenway Park.
What do you mean?
Oh, you mean okay? Yeah. Well, yeah.
Stop playing around, Danny.
With the green monster, and I'm not talking about a super mutant.
I got orders not to let you in, Piper.
There's actually a whole quest around that, if I remember correctly. You know, I didn't play it in VR, but I remember playing it where you have to... The groundskeeper or whatever, like, wants some green paint to paint the green monster.
I'm sorry, but Mayor McDonough's really steamed, Piper. Saying that article you wrote was all lies. The whole city's in a ditch.
Yeah, I think you're even shorter than Piper, you'll see, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
You open this gate right now, Danny Sullivan. I live here. You
Battle
can't
of the Free
just lock
Press.
me out.
More relevant today than ever.
You.
Whatever, it's all
Won
fake
Diamond
news,
City,
David.
Right?
What? Who are...
You hear that, Danny? You gonna open the gate and let us in, or are you gonna be the one talking to crazy Myrna about losing out on all the supply?
Jeez, all right. I need to make it personal. Give me a minute.
You're smooth, Piper.
Better head inside quick before old Danny catches on to the bluff.
You know, with haptics becoming more of a thing, I wonder if down the road we'll ever be able to smell how the wasteland smells.
Mayor McDonough?
1 second, sir. Piper, who let
That
you
would be
back
horrible.
inside? I told Sullivan to keep that gate
I can't imagine any person smells very good in the wasteland, much less the wasteland itself.
Oh, I know. That reminds me, back when Resident Evil 7 came out, there was a company selling candles that smelled like blood.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ooh, that a statement, Mr. McDonough? Tyrant mayor.
I think they have some for Skyrim that smell like, you know, like forests and wintry
because the mayor's threatening to throw free
scents.
speech in the dumpster.
Always believed in freedom of the press.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Blood-scented candle, I don't know. I don't know about that.
Don't knock until you try it.
Welcome.
Look, I like the smell of blood
more
more than anybody, but
don't let this
sharks would really like it. That would be a good candle to get your shark friend.
True, true. Did you ever watch Street Sharks? Was that your jam back
I'm
in
sure
the day?
your city's a great place.
I never watched it, but I remember the cartoon. I remember it.
Was there anything particular you came
Do
to
we have
our
any
city
Street Sharks
for?
fans that are watching right now?
What is this place?
Why, this is
I'm
the
assuming
safest
not.
place in all the
500 people said
The
yes.
strongest community and the highest standards of living available. We have stores, doctors, but
Yeah?
Yeah, Krister, I know what you're talking about with the.
Just
He's talking about the Vive
blah, blah, blah. My son.
rifle
Wait, your son's missing?
that they're putting out. It's pretty pricey, but yeah, it's got like full kickback and
What's Diamond
everything.
City Security doing to
Oh,
help
yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
man, huh?
And
This
while
isn't
we're on the
first person
topic, we
versus
just
third
reviewed
come through, and
the
now we have an infant who's
Hyperkin
been taken.
Hyper
don't listen to her.
Blaster
Well, I'm
gun.
afraid that our
That review went up
security team can't
today.
solve every case that comes through.
Short version, I don't really recommend it.
Diamond City has every conceivable.
It's a little
service
pricey.
command. One of our great
Yeah, it is,
citizens
and
can
you have
surely find the time
to
to
screw a Vive tracker on top of it. So it's like,
I hope so.
I don't know, until those peripherals can
This is
just be
ridiculous.
tracked naturally
Diamond
without
City
having to
security
screw
can't
extra
spare
things
one
on
officer
top
to
and
help.
buy other
I
pieces,
want the truth
I'm not
of
sure
it.
that it's really worth
What's
it
the real
from a
reason
consumer
for the
perspective.
investigative?
I've had enough of
Yeah.
this, Piper. From now on, consider you and that little sister of yours on notice.
Yeah, keep
All
talking,
right.
McDonough. That's all you're good for.
This is a long conversation.
A big Diamond City welcome from the mayor. You feel honored yet? Look, I gotta go get settled in, but, stop by my office later. I have an idea for an article you'd be perfect for.
One thing that's a little weird to me about the Locomotion is that whenever you move for the direct smooth movement, you don't have to press the trackpad at all. You just rub your thumb around it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's kind of weird because I find myself moving a lot by accident.
Yep,
And,
absolutely.
yeah.
Especially when you're trying to hit the top button to bring up the menus or whatever. I'll find myself moving a lot accidentally.
And that's why the Oculus Touch controllers are better for these kind of games, I think. All right, we'll spend a little time going around Diamond City here, and then we'll probably end the stream after we explore it a little bit.
Yeah, I think that was good. That was our goal to get to Diamond City today, and even though the first 20 minutes of the stream, David just died over and over and over again, we did it.
I mean, the sense of scale, in VR is just so great, and I think Diamond City is a great example of that for Fallout. You really have to crane your neck up to see the edges of the stadium, and yeah, this is definitely feels like I'm in a city now compared to the wasteland.
Yeah, and then you know what? I'll say that I did really like that about Fallout and the VR version of Fallout is that the feeling of being when you get to the city core really is different than being out, in the more farmland areas.
Yeah.
I gotta head into the office. You start whistling if you see any angry politicians.
So what do you think the chances are of Bethesda's next brand new game having VR support natively from the beginning? What do you think the chances are of that?
Like a full release game?
Yeah, like Elder Scrolls 6. Do you think it'll have VR support day one?
I mean, if they retain the same engine, I don't see why they wouldn't necessarily think about that, because they want to, try to support as many platforms as possible. And if it's a fairly easy translation, depends on, it seems like they've already done a lot of the engine work that they need to for VR now that they have Skyrim and Fallout. It's not like we had to wait 2 or 3 years, between Skyrim VR and Fallout VR. Yeah. So it seems to me they laid a lot of the base groundwork already for the engine. So yeah, I can absolutely see that being a possibility.
You do look human enough, but I'll be watching you.
I hope so.
I have eyes like a... Well,
Krister is asking, is there any news about the knuckle controllers? Nothing new that I've heard.
No, sure. We haven't heard anything about those since I think Steam Dev Days, and that was really, we only heard things because we knew people that were there and they told us some stuff. Yeah, I mean, we haven't really heard much of anything at all.
Yeah, I mean, Valve is pretty tight-lipped about most of their stuff.
Very, very true. Very true. I forgot. I need to... You have to use the duplicate weapons to repair, right?
Yep.
That's how that works?
Yep, exactly.
Remember, I don't serve sense. Supplies are just for
I'll wait and
humans.
do that off stream so I don't have to bore people with all that. Yeah, and I think, exploring the cities in Skyrim, it felt really nice as well. And, just Bethesda games in general have such a great sense of scale, and their environments are so well realized and defined. If I'm exploring Diamond City, I never forget and think I'm back in, Megaton from Fallout 3 or Whiterun in Skyrim. There's not a samey vibe to it. They really do a good job of making everything feel very unique. Everyone was in a hurry to get here. What the heck? Aw. Dog meat's playing with the teddy bear.
The random man was asking how long can you last with the headset on?
I mean, that varies for everybody.
Yep. I mean, I played Fallout for 4 or 5 hours at a stretch, Fallout VR. So, you know, and I could have gone on for even longer. But I would, you know, I would sit down after a while, too, after playing for a couple hours and things like that. So, yeah, I mean, you know, I'd alternate between standing up, playing, and then sitting down and playing. Which, again, just kind of messes with the height even more, you know, but you get used to it as long as you don't have to pick up anything from, like, a high shelf.
Right, right.
And like I said, I just pretended like I was Peter Dinklage, or Tyrion, in the world of Fallout.
Yeah, I think if anything, what we've learned over this year of the VR market, the first full calendar year of consumer VR, is people are totally willing to play multi-hour, dozen-hour-long games in VR. You know, I think that was kind of something people were a little hesitant about last year and going into the beginning of this year. You know, can we make games that are more than 2 or 3 hours long? Will people, you know, revisit them and come back in multiple sessions? Will they play it for multiple hours at a time? And I definitely think the answer's been yes. You know, what I've seen and what I've heard is everyone wants more games like this, more games that you can play for more than 3 or 4 hours.
Absolutely. And Dogbox, you're absolutely right. Gun durability, that actually was Fallout 3. You don't even have to worry about that in Fallout 4.
Oh, good point, okay. They're a bit of a blur in my head for some reason. I don't know why I get mechanics confused between those two sometimes. I think part of it's because I didn't finish Fallout 3 until Fallout 4 was about to come out, because it took me so long to play it. Alright, well, Diamond City definitely lives up to the name. It was worth the journey to get here, that's for sure. Should I go ahead and talk to Valentine while I'm here?
Yeah, why don't we go ahead and do that, and then we'll wrap it up after we talk to Valentine. That'll be a good place to stop, I think.
Okay.
Luck wouldn't last forever.
Or his office. He's not actually here yet, but...
His ties.
Right.
Something wrong.
Which will mean the secretary, right?
Spray coming in from the rain.
Yeah, there she is.
Afraid you're too late. Office is closed.
I know you must be busy, but I won't take much of your time, miss. It's important.
You don't get it. The detective, he's
One thing that I
gone.
like that's kind of cool is you can move around and the characters, they follow you. It's kind of a neat effect.
Yeah, like their head, their eyes.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Which I mean, obviously that's there in the base game too, outside of VR. You can move around and they look at you, but whenever I'm physically moving my head and they keep eye contact, it feels different.
We tracked them down to their hideout in Park Street Station. There's an old vault down there that they use as a base. I told Nick he was walking into a trap, but...
I'll find him.
Thank you.
Find him.
Nick should be easy to spot. He's always wearing that old hat and trench coat getup.
I love Nick. Nick was like probably Nick and Dogmeat were my 2 longest term companions.
Yeah. I had Piper for a while. I found it hilarious to deck her out in like combat gear and stuff, just given her personality and job profession. I just thought it was the most hilarious thing to see her, you know, rocking like a minigun and full combat armor. But I think Dogmeat's my favorite companion for sure.
Yeah, I liked, I forget the name of the Irish girl that you find in the attic. But she was my wife. I can't even remember my wife's name. It's horrible of me.
All right. Well, I think that's a pretty good spot to stop. Thanks everyone for watching. We had a great time showing you guys some more Fallout 4 VR on HTC Vive. We're going to continue streaming the game if you guys want to see more of it. We plan on going back to streaming more Skyrim as well. We have LA Noire coming up. I think tomorrow is when it releases, so we'll definitely be streaming that, you know, showing you guys some of that. Yeah, I mean, it's been a good year for VR, and we're excited to see what 2018 has in store. More VR games, more streaming. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep, and I just want to apologize to Kate, my wife, in Fallout, because I forgot her name. So
I don't think she was watching, so she doesn't know.
You never know, David. You never know.
Yeah. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. You can read our review of Fallout 4 VR and all of the other games that have came out recently at uploadvr.com. Do us a favor and, subscribe to our channel to get alerts about our future live streams. And we really appreciate you taking the time to watch. I'm David Jagna from Upload VR, and take care and have a good weekend.
Take it easy.